Pasensya na po na putol po yung ating video. So I will continue bilirubin. Ilang slides na lang po ito. 3 questions na lang po. And then we'll move to enzymology. Tapusin ko lang po muna yung bilirubin. So in this question naman po, as what we can see, mataas nga po ang level ng total serum bilirubin. And then, mataas po yung level ng conjugated serum bilirubin of 6.1 here. Tapos, positive nga po for urine bilirubin. So there is increase in your B2 or your conjugated bilirubin. No? Tapos there is an increase in AST and also an increase nga po in your alkaline phosphatase. Okay, so this one is a case po of letter D, conjugated hyperbilirubinemia, probably due to hepatocellular obstruction. Okay, so due to hepatocellular obstruction. So yung this one is if you will under po ng hepatocellular obstruction, this one can be a case nga po of hepatitis. No? Kasi if you will compare AST versus your alkaline phosphatase here, mas higher po or significant yung change sa or increase sa AST, no, from 0 to 50 na reference as compared to your alkaline phosphatase. Kasi kung mas higher po dito sa alkaline phosphatase, then we can say that it is a case nga po of biliary obstruction or obstructive jaundice, such as kung may presence ka ng gallstones or cholelithiasis. But for this condition, mas higher nga sa AST. So this one is more typical of hepatitis causing hepatocellular obstruction. So tama, letter D, conjugated hyperbilirubinemia, probably due to hepatocellular obstruction. So I just clarified kung ano yung specific condition versus biliary obstruction and hepatitis. This one is more typical of hepatitis because of an increase in the significant increase here in the AST as compared to the alkaline phosphatase. Okay. Next, in which of the following conditions does decreased activity of your glucuronidase transferase results in increased unconjugated bilirubin and kernicterus in neonates? Okay, so for this one, deficiency or the lack of the enzyme glucuronidase transferase or uridine diphosphate glucuronidase transferase is characteristic of Crigler-Najjar syndrome. We have letter D, Crigler-Najjar syndrome. Hence, there will be an elevation of B1 kasi B1 is not conjugated to form your B2. Wherein again, increase nga po in your unconjugated bilirubin increases as well the risk, no, for developing kernicterus. Okay, there are different types of Crigler-Najjar. It can be type 1 and type 2. And for type 1 po, there is absolute deficiency of the enzyme, while for type 2, partial deficiency of the enzyme. Hindi po pwedeng Gilbert ito. For Gilbert disease naman, it is a bilirubin transport deficit wherein impaired po yung cellular uptake of the bilirubin. Hence, nag-i-increase po ang B1 sa case ng Gilbert syndrome. So, increase ng B1 because of impaired cellular uptake of your hepatocytes of the bilirubin. While sa case naman po ng Rotor syndrome at saka Dabin-Johnson, dito naman there is a blockade of the excretion of the bilirubin. So dito, na-conjugate na po si bilirubin pero hindi lang siya ma-excrete, no? Because of bilirubin excretion deficit in Dabin-Johnson and Rotor syndrome. So for Crigler-Najjar, mataas po ang B1 because of the lack of the enzyme that will conjugate B1 to B2. Sa Gilbert disease na mataas po si B1 because of bilirubin transport deficit, hindi po ma-receive or ma-uptake ng hepatocytes yung unconjugated bilirubin sa case ng Gilbert syndrome. Sa case naman po ng Rotor sa Dabin-Johnson syndrome, mataas naman po dyan ang B2 kasi dito na-conjugate na si B1 to become B2. Ang problem po dito is the excretion because of the blockade of the excretion of bilirubin. Okay? Para lang po maging familiar ulit tayo with these conditions. In amniotic fluid, the procedure used to detect hemolytic disease of the newborn is, so we have measurement of absorbance at 450 nanometer, no, for the detection of your bilirubin, no, at 450 nanometer. Okay, again, creatinine here is used to assess kung yun ba ay amniotic fluid or yun ba ay contamination ng urine. LS ratio is again to detect fetal lung maturity, should be more than or equal to 2. Estriol here is the predominant estrogen or the E3 secreted during pregnancy. And again, AFP naman po or alpha-fetoprotein is measured in amniotic fluid to assess naman po neural tube defects wherein dapat po ito ay less than 2 multiple of the median. No? More than or equal to 2 multiple of the median indicates nga neural tube defects such as spina bifida and anencephaly. Okay? But for bilirubin, we have your measurement of absorbance at 450 nanometer. Okay. Next po tayo, enzymology.